Good evening. Welcome back to July CEC 20 business meeting. Recording Secretary Nalin, can you please take roll call attendance? Recording Secretary Nalin, can you please take roll call?
Sorry. The President John Riccottoni.
Here.
So first Vice President Elizabeth Chen.
Here, present.
Second Vice President Wei-Min Chen.
Here.
Treasurer Mei Fan Chen.
Here.
And I'm recording secretary. And Kevin Zhao. Kelly Clancy. Stephen Marconi.
Here.
Tamara Stur.
Here.
Fabiola Matila.
I'm here.
Alina Lewis.
Here.
Candy.
Yeah.
And
Okay, attendance is taken. Tonight we have interpretation in Arabic, Mandarin, and Spanish. You should see these interpreters' names in the participant list, and they will post their information in the chat. They will now share directions for anyone who needs interpretation for the meeting. Could our Arabic interpreter please introduce yourself?
مساء الخير. للترجمة العربية الفورية برجاء الاتصال على 347-966-4114 ثم الاتصال على 684-006-024 شباك. مجددا للترجمة العربية الفورية برجاء الاتصال على 347-966-4114 شباك ثم الاتصال على 684-006-024 شباك. Thank you. Arabic announcement is adjourned.
Thank you so much to the Arabic interpreter. Could our Mandarin interpreter please introduce yourself?
Hello, the following message will be announced in Mandarin. 如果需要普通话翻译，请拨打电话号码347-966-4114，并输入 ID 号618-616-518井号。再重复一遍，电话号码是347-966-4114，并输入 ID 号616-518井号，请在语言上保持静音。非常感谢大家的合作。The Mandarin announcement has been made. You may now proceed.
Thank you, Mandarin interpreter. Could our Spanish interpreter please introduce yourself?
Good evening. This is the Spanish interpreter, Dora. The following announcement will be in Spanish. Muy buenas noches. Para acceder al servicio de interpretación en español, por favor llamar desde sus teléfonos al número 347-966-4114. Repito, 347-966-4114 e ingresar el código 833-563-028, símbolo numeral. Repito, el código a ingresar es el 833-563-028, símbolo numeral. Por favor, asegurarse de mantener sus teléfonos en silencio con los micrófonos apagados para así no interferir con la interpretación. Muchas gracias. Spanish announcement has concluded.
Thank you so much to the Spanish interpreter. Thank you. As a reminder to speakers, please try to speak slower than usual to allow our interpreters to keep up. Now we will share the agenda for tonight's business meeting. Kevin, can you please share the agenda on the screen? Approval of June business meeting minutes. New business would be the budget discussion, the liaison list approval, and the meeting dates approval. The first item on the business meeting agenda is approval of the minutes from last month's meeting. Kevin, can you please share the minutes on the screen? Members, are there any changes to the minutes? Is there a motion for the minutes to be approved?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
The minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda will be the budget discussion. Everybody was issued a paper if they're here. Kevin, can you just please share that with the members that are actually online?
Oh, do you have one more?
Yeah, there's some copies around.
Where is this? You got it? Sorry.
John, do you want me to explain the budget? You want to go over it?
You could do it.
Okay.
It's a whole year.
So Kevin's gonna explain the budget.
Whole year six.
Okay, so this year we have 25,000, same as last year. The first chart here is the care fare for me for to go home after these meetings. That's decreased from 750 to 700 because last year I didn't use all of it. So I think this year will be the same. Again, this is for me to go home and it's based on the council approval. So it's up to, we can always remove this line. It's up to you guys. The P card, the major purchase we need to make this upcoming year is our website license will expire. They only take debit or credit, and I'm speaking to our senior grants officers that oversees our expenditure with the P card. Currently, she's not sure if we'll be able to use this card to renew a license, but she's in talks with higher ups. She said she'll get back to me, but if it is approved, then we can use the P card, and I think it's best we leave money there, $900, and then in the future, if we don't end up using it, we can always move it back around. Parents involvement events, it's $3,000. I think last year we had 3 events and we had a little higher of a budget. I think it was around 4,800, and we ended up using I think almost all of it. We were a little short. So if we plan to have the same amount of events, I think last year we had 2 or 3. I think we had 3 events last year. We may need to put more money. Again, the reimbursements were at 18,000 because we have 12 members. Last year, you can see here, it's 7,921 went unclaimed, and that was sent back to DOE. So that's money we never end up using. And then we have the president's reimbursement, which is 2,400. Last year it was not used. I think only about 1,000 was used. This is how I have it currently situated. I think the only money we can really move around is the care fare, the title right here, chart 9. And then if anyone wants to give up reimbursement, what I notice is that a lot of people don't submit their reimbursements, and if they do it late. I do submit everything I've been given, so it just depends on how often members submit. But again, it's I think a majority last year did not submit, so that's why we still have almost $8,000 that went unclaimed. So does anyone have any comments about what
Okay.
the budget?
I do. So we have 10 members that are here, 2 are not here. We have to do something about this, like Tamara said. We work together almost 4. It'll be 4 years for us together once we complete these 2 years. We said this 2 years ago. We don't want to lose this money because it doesn't go to CEC 20. It goes to DOE. So once again, we're going to have this talk. So we really need to put our heads together and make sure that $7,921 does not go back to DOE. It stays within CEC 20. We have 10 people on board. We got to do this now. We could always change stuff around, like Tamara said. So with that being said, I'm giving up my year. I'm not going to take that money. So you could put that 2,400 to whatever you want to put it. But that's what I'm saying. I know Tamara wants to speak. So Tamara, go ahead, please speak.
Sorry, Tamara. Just before we lose track of what he said. So you're going to give up your 2,400. Yep. Does everyone want to put it to the parent involvement events? That's where we do the yearly events.
We could do that.
So can we?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, and then in the end we can vote. But for now, I'm going to put it there, and in the end we can agree. I'll agree for that. Let me just.
Can I ask a quick clarifying question? Because I was thinking the same thing. If it goes unclaimed, then, but I guess what you guys are saying is you can't after the fact. It goes unclaimed, but then we can't then. It's like we wait for it to go unclaimed and then it goes back. We can't take the unclaimed money and then put it towards events. That's what the issue is, right?
the line unclaimed, it means that the budget expired and they can't use it anymore. So and June 20th was the last day for reimbursements, and not everybody submitted. Those went unclaimed, that were just not used, so they just went back
Right,
to.
so unless people say up front, like John is doing now, I'm not gonna claim it, then we can't move it around. It's more that people aren't saying that, but then they're not claiming it, and then it just goes back. That's the issue.
Right.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure I'm understanding. Thank you.
I have this.
Sorry, Tamara was going to speak. Oh, Fabiola, do you want to speak?
I think we need to have the better communication.
Sorry, can you close
this
speak?
year. I mean, use my,
No, because it's on speaker.
Okay.
Sorry, it makes it
it's
complicated.
fine. What do you want me to know?
You can sit next to Mira. That'd be great.
Sure.
Thank you.
I think we need to have a clear communication. I just wonder why we have almost $8,000 go back. I remember that last year we had the same conversation and some of us donate, at least for me, I said, I don't want the reimbursement. We can use this money at least, and I said, at least for the 6 first months, I would like to donate, whatever we get every month, $125. I said, let's use that.
Yeah.
No,
did
we
you-
did say that. We had the same conversation. What I'm trying to say is that who keep a record of who is donating what. So you don't expect a form every month from some of us, and you keep record. Okay, who's donating what? I'm not clear if this $8,000 that we're talking about is because you were expecting our forms every month, but in reality, in my head, I'm like, okay, he's not expecting any. I'm not expecting any money in return. I just want to make sure that the money, if we say that we donate a reimbursement, we have a record, a list of members who donated the money, and how much money is allocated to events.
I believe on the minutes last year, it was only John who wrote down that donated his reimbursement.
You have to say in
Yeah,
the
and then
so
he'll
you
say
have to
voted.
confirm before he can't just take it home.
No,
You're-
I
you're-
said, I did say,
Yeah, when she
I
came
did
in.
say that we had this annual meeting every
When
year.
you- yeah.
Yeah.
So last year we had the same meeting, we discussed, we had this conversation, and we were going back and forth about the budget and how sometimes we don't have enough money for lunch breakfast, we don't have money for for
People-
other
people
events,
put
for
their own money into
people's
it.
community. And I was one of the members who said I would love to donate the money. And if you go back to the record, I only put the reimbursement for 2 months because I said that I wanted to donate my $125. So just want to make sure that we have a list. I don't know who's going to keep the record. I don't know if it's you or someone else.
Shouldn't that be the treasurer?
Yeah.
like you
Treasurer.
said? So
Yeah.
the treasurer got to write down who's saying how much money they want to donate, and that's the main fund, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Main fund, you have to write down who's
I'll correct that.
donating to confirm and confirm again. And then sometimes if some council member know that they're not taking the full amount, they should tell it right, like say, oh, I want to donate my 25. You don't have to give the full amount to the donation. You could just put a set aside, because if you're not doing childcare, you could just put it into the budget. So just letting you guys know, because, if it's not because, it's because people are not saying that they're not gonna take that money.
And that would.
Because he can't just take it out of the budget. You have to confirm and tell him.
I know, I do remember you saying that.
Yeah.
like-
I did
Because
say
there was a
that. I
number of
remember
members,
John
too.
also said, I was right after John, who said, I would, if we have an issue and we don't have enough funding for community
Yeah, I
events,
remember that,
take my money.
Okay,
Take
so
it.
that was that. Even then, we would still have around 6,000.
Still, so we
Yeah, we
need to
still
do
have
something.
Like,
Don't worry, because I have planned to use that money for good for student, good for parent. So don't need to worry. I'm gonna discuss with the treasurer.
So, Kenley, are you saying you're gonna donate your yearly reimbursement?
Yeah, I'm gonna donate.
All right, so he.
So you're not gonna set, the reimbursement, so you're gonna put all your money or half or what?
All your money, all my money.
All your
we-
money.
are
I
we
don't need
add-
it. Thanks.
Are we adding it to parent involvement?
That's.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Right.
want to do that?
Because we could do another thing, something different. A liaison. What is it? The
Because
legislators, the other
When
breakfast,
we did those,
the welcome
the
breakfast.
parents' breakfast.
Yeah, we could do something else.
But I think we should
Breakfast.
plan, that's one of the things
Yeah,
I
we
want
need
to
to plan.
discuss, we need to plan, because I'm gonna be honest with you, for the last couple of years, we have not done as much as we need to for this community.
But I think we do the event, but I think it's some couple to take a responsibility. Maybe one group 3 people, one group 3 people to host the event, to how to plan the event, and then maybe take out to the meeting to say, okay, I plan to breakfast the event. Okay, I'm take a responsibility, right? I have the 3 group, and then to say, oh, how to run that, or who provide that, what's the how to step by step.
But that's what we did.
That's what we
That's what
did.
we
Yeah.
did.
So Tamara and Fabiola was in charge one time, and then you
Yeah,
were in
well,
charge
yeah,
again.
no,
And
but-
then it was taken away
I think
from me,
Yeah,
by, because I'm gonna be honest, there needs to be better communication
No,
overall.
definitely.
but you say when you do the event, we think we have the let everybody know how it's the going, and then what is the food provide, is how is the use the budget, how many is the spend or something. We have the before we have the announcement.
But
And that's-
it wasn't done like that, and I said that when I, the first year on the CC, when I did that, I emailed you guys to let you know what was going on. And then I was told that I should only be communicating with certain people. And you guys were kept out of the loop. Okay, so John
That's gonna
knows,
be different. this
John
year.
knows because
We're
he
not
was
gonna do
part of that conversation. Okay, and I want to bring that up because for the last 2 years, I was kept out of communication, a lot of stuff that many of you members knew that I did not know. And the only reason I knew was because of John.
So
So
John
that
know
needs to change.
So we didn't know that.
No.
So-
No.
Because the president knew everything. He was the one that kept his foot in everything. And he decided for everybody. And he decided what to share with you and what to share with you and what to share with you. And it shouldn't be like, because we're all part of the
We're all
council.
members.
John, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Like, I'm new to this. Like, I remember, like, I sat in on a business meeting and I heard this, and I heard the issue for using. So I wrote down to help me better understand. Can the reimbursement be explained? What's allowable? Listening to what's being said. So if halfway through in December, because it's an annual budget, can I, in December, when I say aye, can any of us then say, okay, redirect X amount to this parent involvement or wherever else?
It would have to.
Or does that have to be decided today?
It would no.
And
So
then, and
there's a
so,
cutoff
so with this, what is reimbursement? What's allowed to be and how do we submit? And I guess the treasurer keeps a running track. Maybe if we're given reminders,
I'll explain.
there's X amount on an individual, so it doesn't go to waste, so to speak. But like me, myself, I don't know what's allowable. I don't know what I'm allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do. I'm not gonna make a decision or an informed choice unless I know the nuances involved. And the other question, can it be redirected in December? So say like I see in December, gee, I got like more than half of it left, so let me give part of it, all of it back. So can you explain to me how this works?
So Tamara has a hand raised. So
That was one of the issues too. I think we need to have somebody to really sit down with this council and explain exactly how that works. Because the way it was explained to me from another council member that's not part of this council, in order for me to understand, right? And I think in order for us to figure out how to use this reimbursement money, and if we're not gonna use it to put it back into, allocate it to other funds, then we need to understand what we could use it for. All right, because like my kids are older, I don't need childcare. You get what I'm saying? So then I'm not gonna use that fund. So if I could use some of that and put it back to parent involvement because I'm not gonna use it, then it would be helpful to me to know what is considered childcare. You know what I mean?
So, Stephen, in regards to that, it's like internet. You could claim internet in order to get your money, right? You would claim internet or childcare, and then you would fill out a form, and then you would give it to Kevin, and that's how you'd be paid $125. So that's how you would get that money. It's childcare, internet, and I think that's it, right, Kevin? Okay,
I
so
think they said some, like if you go to events for the CEC,
Yeah,
then you could charge the
Transportation.
transportation.
Part of that.
So it's not just,
So now as a liaison, if I travel to schools,
you could do that.
on
Yeah,
like
as
say
long
I'm
as
off
you
on
got
a Wednesday
Transportation.
and I want to go hit
Record.
2 schools to make an in-person visit. And is there a specific mile? Do I got to start keeping a mileage log? Like,
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
yeah,
you
definitely.
do.
Yeah, you have it before.
and I guess it'll be from home to the school
To
and
school
back.
and back.
School
yeah.
to back, yeah.
Okay, or, well, OmniCard receipt, I guess something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
Well,
of
you
course.
can't even really do an OmniCard because you're filling up the whole
Yeah.
OmniCard, so how would they know?
But the
It-
name headers were only the
So
month.
transportation's allowed to official event type things that
Yeah,
we're doing
correct.
to fulfill our office.
But you
When
have
you
to,
say internet, what does that mean?
When you're using your laptop, you're using your cell phone services for, signing up for internet.
Is it prorated? Like how does
I'm
that
not,
work?
No, it's just
Kevin,
a-
I
it's
don't
a
know.
flat
Just
fee.
a flat fee.
So if I got the no first plan, it's $25 a
More than
month.
right.
That's what I could
Yeah,
do.
just
It's up
little
to
bit clear.
75.
Okay.
If you guys would like, we can set up a meeting with SGO,
I think we
and then
should.
you can all discuss these questions reimbursement. Because right now it's just based on experience. But next month we can schedule the SGO. We can reach out to join us, and any questions you can answer.
I think so because I just want to make sure that the new members get all their questions answered because like Tamara said, at least for me, it was very difficult when I started and tried to navigate. If it wasn't for John and Tamara, that I was always texting and emailing, okay, what's the next steps? What should I do? I think because we have new members, we need to have a better communication and understanding of our role and, like everything.
How does it work?
And support. I don't know if you had sent the orientation, but there is an orientation for CBC members. If you miss that for any reason, can we have an orientation before our very own first meeting? So we can get all our questions addressed.
They said that you could also look at the videos online for the orientation,
And
because
this
it's
is all
unfair for the rest of us that did attend the in-person to constantly rehash it, because I went, she went, a lot of us went.
But again, it might work for
I'm
you,
saying,
it worked
but
for
there's
some of
also,
us.
there's also some, they also said there's some, things that we have to do online. And we could also, we could go online and see the orientation sessions that are, they videotape them.
The other two online.
I just wanna make sure that all of us have the tools
I'm just,
to,
letting you know.
to be as helpful as we can for this council.
Yeah, like say we can make a group talk, like Samuel, who gonna go and meet up with school or like student, we just post up and say everybody okay with that, and then transportation fee and whatever cost, and you're gonna get the money back. So it's so easy. And rest of the money, like say last year, the money go back to the whatever.
It was like
And we
$13,000.
can use less money to help the kid and the parent. That's important. That's why we're here. Okay, that money we have used to buy school supplies or whatever event for the kid or for the parent help them. That's why we're here. Just want to say the important thing.
And in the orientation, they said we could use that money to hire people to
Just
host
yeah, host-
classes
yeah.
for
Yeah.
us, or to.
For our
tell us-
families,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly,
for
yeah.
our,
Get back
for our professional
Back to
development.
school event.
Yep, we
For
could
our
do that.
families in need, our immigrant families that lost their job
Yep.
because unfortunately what's going on in this world.
Yeah.
That they don't have backpacks, they don't have book bags,
So
stuff like that.
with that being said, we have to do the legislative breakfast. The back? What is
Because
it?
we do the piece, the PTA, Title I, parent coordinator.
What is that
welcome
called?
back breakfast.
Welcome back breakfast.
Yeah.
The legislative breakfast, and then we could do an event for book bags, like some kind of event where we could get rent out a place, a school.
And then we could actually get you know, our neighbors, like local
Yeah.
businesses, to donate for like, you know, even corporations, like we need to do better for our
Yeah,
community.
we could
Our
do that.
community is hurting. You know how many people I see at these food pantries on a daily basis?
Lines around the block.
Yeah.
So are we good with 3 events?
So
I
for
think we
you,
are supposed to have those three.
I am agree with what you say, but what we need, okay, all we need a like small card for approve a CEC council, and also we need the ID for CEC. Remember, and then we can go to small business, tell them to help our community, help our kid and the parent. You know, that would be easy. But if you personally go there, you don't show anything, they think you are.
We do have a CEC card.
Oh, I don't have it.
No, you have to go down and get
That's,
it.
that's a lot. What I'm gonna
The
do
face
now.
representative would like to speak.
Yes.
It's easy. Make them make small business donation for us.
No,
To
you
help
have
the
to do
community and
that.
get better.
Get
It's
the letter
easy.
first.
The face representative would like to speak, please.
Yeah. You
So
have
I
to.
just wanted to let you know, the photo ID instructions and the letters are going out. So you should be getting it soon. So then you can take it and then get your CEC, IDs made. So remember, if you served last term, that term is over.
Yeah.
You're starting a new term, so you're gonna need your new IDs for that as well. So, and then you can just go, like, as this gentleman was saying, you can go to business, but as a council, right? You can also bring businesses. When I was on the CEC, we brought businesses to us as the CEC. And we hosted an event on how to make businesses DOE vendors. So you have businesses in your community that might wanna become a DOE vendor, and you bring them in and you can get someone you can partner with, the DOE office to bring them, that DOE office
That's
to
face.
talk about how to become a small business.
Face gives you
And
the
then
card,
start
the
building
letter.
that partnership with them as well. That's it.
Like a quart of milk, you expired.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
No
that.
problem.
That's what you need, right, to get new cards.
But I have a question for that, so for the
Nah.
car, we can just, we go
Samantha.
post them, so we need to make a date appointment, so we walk
Right,
to the
so-
office?
So, I'm sorry, so within the, instructions, it tells you how to go online. It send you a link, you go online, you set the appointment, and then you go down to 65 Court Street to go through the process of taking your ID and so forth. So it's all in an email that you should get shortly.
We have the music later.
So you guys don't
And
have ID.
And every time you
No,
visit the school, you
yeah,
use
I
it.
have ID.
You're using it.
So we have the approved data first, and then go to.
Hmm?
We have the first thing, we have the approved data, so we can use to do the ID.
To make the
No,
appointment?
that's-
No, we
They
have to get
they send out the
email.
automatic, so.
So within the email that is
没有啊，
gonna
他
be
申
sent to
请要
you,
申请。
You have to print it out.
No.
right, so this, within the email that is gonna be sent to you with the instructions on how to get your ID, there's a letter with your name and district that you take down to 65 Court Street to then go through the process of getting your ID.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
我有做，但是他先帮我。
we're gonna go past this budget, or we're gonna just move stuff around and then wait until next month?
It's up to, you can ask if anyone wants to make changes or if wants to. vote.
Anybody want to make changes to this budget, or wait until next month and then we can work on it then?
We're informed now, so you wanted to put down, because you guarantee, you're saying that you want to give up your.
The 2,400, yeah, put
Yeah,
it,
so then
I
we
don't
could
want
just put that in,
the family,
yeah, we could.
Then
Do
can
we
they
have to
also,
vote on that now?
we have to vote on it, right?
Yes, so
Yes.
then that's better, so
Just make the-
we already finished with him, so we don't have to worry about.
Recording
his
secretary?
reimbursement.
I wrote it down.
Oh, okay.
But is that the last change for now?
Are you
can
doing the
always-
change? Are you donating
I
the,
donate everything.
okay.
I don't
Alright,
care.
so you're confirmed, okay?
Okay, anyone else would like to put it out?
I'm gonna donate the first 6 months.
All right, put this on
Do not
record.
expect,
Treasurer, the first 6 months,
Yes.
me, the whole amount, and Ken, the whole amount. Ken, me, the whole amount.
And I have a question for the last years, and she mentioned she donated, but is that still just,
No.
we
No, we
do
cannot
it's already
use it.
passed?
We cannot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Gone.
see that.
As of the 20th,
Yeah, just make
it went back.
sure, yeah, okay.
So I have a question, Kevin. When is the last day that we could finagle with the numbers and make sure that no money's left over? I know it was the allowance wise, but all that money was from the allowance, almost
The last
$8,000.
day is in March. It's announced early February.
March?
Yeah, March is the last official day. They don't announce the day until late in the year, but we will have it, I think, at least a month before.
But you could bring that to our attention.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
can tell you guys it's the last.
So what happens in March?
You can't move money yet.
Yeah.
You can move it.
You cannot.
After March, you can.
One at a
But
time.
before March, you can.
Yeah. So that's fine. So you got Fabiola for 6 months,
Yes.
me and Kenley. So Kevin, what's the amount that would be together between us three? What amount would that
So
be?
we have to say,
That's 4650.
4650. So do we want to put that all in the family? Everybody's okay with that? I'm gonna put 4,600 in the family.
It's up
Yes.
to you, 'cause that's your money.
No.
is
So-
there any money go?
So we have to vote on this.
Yeah, so new
Yeah.
total would be
No, I have the question. See, they have the general's price. So office's price, they didn't put the money in there. So
But
in that is,
you could do special events. We could do something title called special events with that.
so it's
So
not.
you could earmark it for something else.
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's,
one at a
Okay,
time.
can she
Just
go on
one question. Mayfan, what are you saying?
it's you don't have the money did not put in the
Office
general's.
supplies?
Yeah.
We don't need anything. I usually I would come to account to be like, oh, we need the pens, we need paper, we need ink, but right now we're okay. So there's no need to.
It's a whole year.
Yeah,
or
but I could come back later if I run out of ink or something. Right now I'm good on ink, I'm good on paper, I'm good on pens. So I can come
Okay.
back and be like, hey, we need money for this.
Oh, okay. So you say the 900 is the pre-con. The website is cost the 550, right?
Yeah.
So the rest
Just in case we need for anything else, it might be because I was quoted 550, but maybe we use a different service now
Uh-huh.
because right now we have something called the Wix. But just in case we can't use that, we go to another service. So I just try to leave 900 there, so we don't have to change it again. But then after we pay it, we can move. I think we'll have maybe $300-$400. We can move it around again.
okay. So 700 is enough for your whole year to transaction the car, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Liz, you're saying?
Oh, wait, and also before, I think in some of our terms, we had refreshment and food for us for people that coming in person. So we could do a line for that because we're expecting more to come in. So it's, like if you're coming in after work, after 6, then we should have refreshment. It used to be common for us to have like food for us.
Agreed.
Last year, I
Yeah.
think the principals were
Yeah,
it was the
really
principals.
generous.
But
Before
we
it
have
used to be
enough
common.
money.
Oh, okay.
But the thing about that is they take money out of their budget to do that, and I don't think they should.
Yeah.
They need it for their schools. They shouldn't be paying for us to eat. We got a budget for that.
Who
The
going
CEC
to
budget,
order?
Some of it was originally.
So we could do that.
Earmarked it to that.
Yeah, we can.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That's good.
So who?
Why should they have to suffer?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then would it be for the 12 months, and then each month, let's just say $50 goes to
I think it'll be more.
more than that?
I think
And
I
then we
use
do-
at least $100.
So who-
So 150. I would
So
say.
who would make the
Okay,
call?
200.
Who would make the call each month? Like somebody's gonna have to be in charge of that then.
It's called a purchase order.
Yeah.
So I don't have to.
Kevin will have to do
We
that.
would
So
just
you would have to
discuss.
do it.
I would just bring up options for you guys, and then to make it easier instead of getting a new place every time. I mean, I'm
Just
just
stick with that one
suggesting this,
place.
but if you guys want a new place every time, I could do it. But it'd be easy just to have
Just
one
stick with
vendor.
one
Okay,
place,
so
Yeah,
yeah.
we can order different things, but
One good place.
But so how much money will go through that?
I've never done that, so I can just get some
So-
quotes and then.
so- Maybe-
Cost,
maybe-
cost, yeah.
So if because we didn't know how many people in person in each meeting, how can we fix this one?
And
Well,
also,
This is why it's important to have clear communication and make sure we shape our relationships. Because remember, if we try to order from the same place every time, what about the next meeting is in Avenue P and Bay Parkway and the vendor is right here? They're gonna charge you extra money for,
Correct.
just to deliver.
we'd set up a contract with them. and then it'd be a fixed price.
Okay.
Yeah. And if something comes up like that, I will tell the council, and then because I will make up the school sites. It's a draft again suggestion. We'll vote on again for September to June. I'll then present that next month, and then that have all the schools and all the meeting dates. If someone wants to change it, we can bring it up, and then from there I can also, once I get that list finalized, I can choose the vendor that hopefully maybe there's one sensor. If not, I'll see, oh, this one's too far, and then I'll still tell you guys, hey, this vendor's really far for 2 months, and it could be like August. I'll be like, hey, in October, by the way, the vendor's really far, so we're going to have to switch, and I suggest new place. So it'll be in advance.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything else in regards to the money wise?
The food line, so do you guys want to make the food line, or is
Yeah,
that
right.
to be decided?
You want to make the food line?
I think we should.
I think we should.
Okay.
Because it's sometimes like, I don't, like, I have granola bars in my bag, and I'm eating it through the meeting.
So we could do that.
So how much would you guys like to allocate for food?
Should it be what, like, maybe 2,500?
You can do it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like 2,500?
2,500.
Okay, and then the rest of it should go into the parent involvement.
Yeah.
Parent engagement involvement. Yeah, that's fine.
And then whatever we don't use, we can always move it
Move
by
it.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when is the last day we can move the budget around?
Sometime in March. The date is going to be announced closer to.
That's a,
I mean, because I think by then, we should have an idea of how much
How much
it
you
costs.
spend?
Can you just do me a favor? Would you happen to know the parent engagement from last year?
没有啊，我
Yeah.
们要去，我要去抵。
Because we were almost short, I believe.
Yeah, it's
that
right
people
here.
had to put in money to get waters and stuff.
It's highlighted.
Yeah, because I remember you had got it
Yeah, remember you helped me in with this?
You donate, yeah.
at 407, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's highlighted here. We had 48.25,
Okay.
and we had $11 left.
See. So all right. And
Almost,
now
yeah.
this year we have over 5,000.
Already we have.
Okay.
So yeah, so that seems about right.
5,000.
Yeah, because we only had $11 left. So, but we could always change it around when we have the meeting, the breakfast, whatever.
After each
So I
event.
have the question.
Mhm.
So at every meeting, or a monthly meeting, is the how to say that? We're going to pick at 69. I think went to there 2 or 3 times.
Yes, we
So-
did.
I'm
So-
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
At last, how did we choose? Last year we went to PS 69 twice.
Okay.
Ask
Yeah.
about-
So how about it's different? So different
I
location.
can
So
tell you that we chose PS 69 last year just because Steve requested it. Anyone can request, but since no one came up, Steve suggested PS 69.
But Steve never asked us.
Yeah,
I
but it's
saw
very
it's
up to everybody.
9, so we're surprised why we hold it like 2
no,
meeting days.
it's
Because it was adjusted, but usually we do it at schools,
So-
different schools
no,
every
no.
year.
It's the we have the pull out, or we have the save before, or how do we?
You could be this meeting. I mean, August is scheduled for the district office, just because it's most schools are closed, and it's also inconvenient just to ask the principal.
yeah.
It's
Just to open it for
agency
that
that's open it just for us, especially late into the evening. But for September to June, I can make up a draft again and then share it. And then if someone sees something, maybe they have a suggestion.
Okay,
So
so I have to. So if I say I go to my school, like for example,
But
for
when
the
you,
two
so
to
when you're
nine.
talking your school, you're talking about your kid's school or the schools you represent?
No, it's my religion school. Maybe I say one school. It's I
Okay.
just for example, if I go say next month maybe I go to this location, my religion school. I pick a one, and then I have to talk to the principal. The
Superintendent.
no. No. Who
Parent
have
coordinator?
to talk to,
The principal.
and then connect to the school.
So schedule it.
Yeah. To
Usually I
schedule.
reach out, and then I also have to submit a permit. But if
So if the school did not accept, how we do?
we just
I
use
think
those
they're gonna
schools.
accept.
But usually all
Ah.
schools
I think they're gonna
accept.
Well,
Yeah.
we work. We'll work for the kid, for the school.
Rarely
And
they
then
say no.
what-
Usually it's maybe a
Usually
construction.
they accept, right? Oh, okay.
So I have a thought. Everybody's gonna be together. What we're gonna do is there's gonna be 3 events. 4 people. We got 12 people. 4 people, 4 people, and 4 people.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. Everybody has their turn. We're gonna do it like that. So 4 people are gonna be in charge of the legislative breakfast. 4 people are gonna be in charge of the welcome breakfast, and 4 people be in charge of the book bag give back, and whatever we do, that's what's gonna happen. That's what I want to happen. I guess we could vote on that. So I think that would be best. So everybody's involved. Where, you know,
That works.
That's good.
Um,
Everybody have to do something.
I'm happy to work at the lunch breakfast.
That's
that's definitely great.
that's late April usually. Both
Yeah.
dates can be decided either now or later. But I suggest later just because we know none of
Let's check
us
the
went.
school calendar first, too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm suggesting later. If we come back, we say, hey, this is the date. I guess the one date we should decide, because we are deciding the budget, is the welcome back breakfast. Last year we did a little late. We did it in November because we finalized everything around September, if you recall. So if you want to do it earlier, like September, October, then we can start discussing
October
it.
might be better because September everybody's coming back.
Right.
We
Yeah.
have no idea what's gonna happen.
So, but do you want to decide date or want to just come back in
I
August?
think
Up
it
to you.
should be October.
Yeah, we can do
October
that
would be October.
since we're here
Yeah, but
and we have
what
quorum.
dates?
I can set a poll and then
Usually what
Yeah, do a
days we
poll
go?
like last time.
because we have time. Okay, I'll do that. I'll set
But
it.
October would be the sufficient date.
Yeah,
All right.
because it's still early enough, but it's later than September.
So the money wise, is everything good? Anybody have any issues with the money, how it's listed? Anybody want to offer anything? All right, so we could vote then, right, Kevin?
Okay. So
Oh,
this is
sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, she wanted to say, so when we are meeting in
Different location.
different location and we want to order food around the area, that way, would be not cost a lot of money. Like say example, I can go out and talk with the restaurant or whatever, and making food. I can say I come from CEC Council, and we have a meeting and then we try to help the kid and parents. So, would you mind giving the best price? Of course, they were yes, of course, right? That's easy to talk.
But also,
But I
you
think we
can't.
have to use
The face
vendors.
representative would like to speak.
So,
Sorry.
Ma'am, can I just have your
So-
name? Your name,
No,
please?
finish your statement and then I'll
Okay.
respond.
for this part, I can do that. I can do that. When I can
No,
That
you,
Yes,
you
yeah.
cannot.
No,
do
it's
that one.
sorry. I think you're gonna say the same thing. You need a vendor.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it has to be
A
a
vendor.
DOE vendor.
Yeah.
So, Kevin will have to look it up
Mhm.
on, FAMUS to see
Mhm.
what vendors are available
Yeah.
there are vendors in Brooklyn that can provide food. The type of food you want, you guys as a council will have to figure that out.
Alright,
But the vendor, Kevin will locate a vendor, he'll let you know the listing, and then you can get the menu and decide what you wanna get. You can allocate most of the time it's like $230 sometimes for like a meal for the entire council if they come out. For each month, if you do it early, you can put it in and then create the POs for it, and, start that process. But Kevin knows, most of that.
Yeah. So it's not. We can't just go to any restaurant and be like, oh, we work for you. You have to do a vendor. You could also they could apply for a vendor license, but that's a whole different thing if you really want a restaurant. But right now, there's an approved list of restaurants in Brooklyn.
understood.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So the students, right? Are they listed and receiving money? Because as of right now, we don't have students on our
Student
CEC.
reimbursement.
Yeah, for reimbursement. Are they listed?
So
Right now,
how
it's
many
not.
people?
Right now, they're not included.
Okay,
If
so
you
they're
recall-
not included in the reimbursements?
Yeah, but if you call, I'll just make a point. You can separate it, but just so you know, like last year, so far we had one member, and it was a long process. We got him through, and he never attended a meeting.
Yeah.
He came to one
Meeting.
one meeting, because I remember meeting him at that one meeting.
No, he's online.
He was out there, he was
Yeah,
online.
Online. Only
Yeah,
online.
and then
He didn't show
so
up after
yeah,
that.
and then
I
his
saw him.
reimbursement went unclaimed, so that's how we lost money too.
So,
So maybe we should just wait until we have a student member and then move the
okay,
money.
then we'll make a copy.
But right now we might not even get one, so there's no. I don't see.
So I did reach out to all the high schools. I sent the email to them to see if we get members. But like you said, we could just do that when the time comes. If they do come, just make it a different. I think a different than us. Like put it student members instead of
Yes.
you know,
separate out of that.
because we might mess up, and we don't want to lose that money neither because we lost money.
I have a question. Is any high school student?
No, it's just a
it
senior
has to be in a senior.
and in the district.
In this district.
In
Yeah.
this district, that's part of the student council. That's the,
初中嘛，初中嘛，
because last year, Credo was
senior
on that. put him in.
Yeah.
Because me and Tamara always talked about how we should have a more open, right?
Yeah.
But it never happened. I feel like it should be voted on who gets into the student council.
Not it just be taken away from us.
And not just.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, somebody
Not just
that
one
really
person
wants
doing the
it
voting.
instead of just having their name on it, that really appreciates it and will learn from it and benefit from it.
Because that other student last year, like, he wasn't even part of D20, he went to school in another district. He lived in D20. And then worked out, that didn't make any sense.
I didn't
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't open either.
I just knew one day we had.
Just showed up at a meeting.
Yeah.
So is
So
the
that student
member
wasn't supposed to get
have
on
to
then.
pass
If he wasn't, if he doesn't go to school in District 20, he wasn't supposed to get on.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I looked it up
I
because I'm working on the resolution for this, but we'll talk about that
Okay, so the
tomorrow.
12 members that we have, that including supposedly who's a student person? No.
No. So if that's the case, we would have to change it. If they do come in, we would just change it, but we want to label them as student representatives getting money from the CEC. That's what we'll do.
So
And I think they're supposed to get 125 too, right?
So we have, we must have the student member in the.
By rights, it's a state law that you're supposed to have 2 seniors that go
Barely
to
get
school in this district. It's not supposed to be that they live in this district. It's that they go to school in this district.
So even if they go to a specialized high school, which covers the whole city, they're basically shut out. Like if they're in Stuyvesant, they gotta go to that school district as opposed to New Utrecht, Fort Hamilton, like they're in the neighborhood, so it makes sense. But so they get penalized for going to a specialized high school.
Correct.
But they don't get to
Even
come
if they live
back
in
to
this
the
district. Yeah, correct.
neighborhood that they come from.
Per state law.
Can I say, no, they don't get penalized because
What happened?
they don't get penalized because then they could be on their CEC from whatever district
No,
that
well,
specialized
no, the point I'm
school is
making is
in.
they're not going to a local high school. They're going to a specialized high school. That's why I say they're being penalized. Now, it's their choice to go to a specialized high school, but they're left out of being able, because we don't have the fortune to have a specialized high school here. Like Brooklyn Tech is down on DeKalb. So that's where they
That's a whole
have
nother
to,
different kind of
you know, because
conversation.
it goes where they locate these specialized high schools, as opposed to your neighborhood, Fort Hamilton, New Utrecht.
I like our schools, so I think our schools. are
So
good.
yeah, they can serve absolutely away from their home.
So are we good enough to go forward and just leave the money where it's at
For now.
for now?
Wow.
All right, so we're gonna vote on it. Alina,
Yep, I can hear you guys. I'm here.
anything? You have
No,
anything?
I
to
just said yes. Let's vote.
Okay, thank you. So now, Lynn, we're gonna take the vote in regards to the budget.
Do you want me to do? I could do it too.
Yes, yes.
Can I have the paper I gave you, please?
He needs a
Okay.
paper back with the names.
Just a note before we start the food budget, I don't think we'll have food for the August meeting because we need to vote on the first I need to find vendors and we got to vote on it. So I think starting September we'll have food. It's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Voting to approve the budget for 2026. Sorry, 2025, 2026. Kevin Zhao.
Oh, he's not
I
here.
don't think he's here. Samara Stern.
Yes. Approved.
Mei Fang Chen.
Yes. Approve.
Ken Lee.
Yes.
Na Lin.
Approved.
Elizabeth Chan.
Approved.
Alina Lewis.
Approve.
John Riccatone.
Approved.
Wen Ming Chen.
Approved.
Fabiola Mendita Cuapio.
Approved.
Am I saying that right?
Approved.
No, am I saying your name right?
Fabiola Mendita Cuapio, yes.
Cuapio? Okay. And then
Beautiful name.
Stephen Mahoney, sorry.
Yes.
Yes. So the budget is approved to 11 yeses, 1 absence.
2 absent.
2 absent. Oh, sorry, you're right. So it's 10 yeses, 2 absence. 10 yeses. Okay.
So we're good?
I'll submit this and then we'll go with the budget. I'm gonna share you can call out the next topic.
All right, so the next topic is going to be liaison list approvals. You were sent an email in regards to the liaison list. You have it in front of you. If not, we can provide it to you. Is everybody okay with the liaison list that they received?
No.
No.
I have a
No.
question.
As a District 75 representative, I was elected to represent our District 75 children. So in looking at the list, right, and I do have a son in a District 75 school, I think there's 5 on the list. And it's been brought to my attention, well, some of the other CECs, like they'll do double duty. School of Inquiry up on Avenue P, they got a District 75 presence. So I made a list up. You know, I went on the website. There's 10 locations. In addition, there's, that I know of, 2 pre-Ks. When these 5 schools, what's the census in a general education school? About 300 kids, 400 kids?
Sometimes 1,000.
Okay, so someone that has 5 schools, let's just say they got 300 kids in each school, that's 1,500. How many District 75 kids are in that school? 50, 100? The census is a lot lower. So if there's 10 schools and let's say there's 150, that's 1,500 children, parents. And also with the, from early intervention, pre-K, and kindergarten on, there's some of the nuances involved in District 75, which since my own personal experience, to help. And if someone is, let's just say Tamara is assigned to a school as the CEC rep to work in unison, because what I've already spoken, the administrative assistants, Kevin, I asked for the email addresses of the principals and the parent coordinator in order, you know, because I'm saying, well, what should I do? Well, let me introduce myself. Who am I? If there's any families that would like assistance, to provide my contact information, which will be by email, because how to work and navigate within the system, I have a little bit of experience to do that. And most importantly to me, I was elected to represent these children and their parents. And that's my job to do. I don't like, not to say undercut someone that may have that school, because there's a heck of a lot other kids in that school itself. So it's kind of like a help thing. And if someone did contact me, it's to work in partnership, because I got the list of who belongs to all the regular grammar schools, or the regular pre-Ks. So as far as John says, anyone have a problem? Yeah, because I should be representing all our children in CEC 20 as a District 75 rep, to which I was elected. And that's my job and responsibility. So that's just something as far as with that. Kevin was nice enough. He took a picture of the list, and I explained this to you. So that's just something that I'm bringing forth. So that's just, you know, like, so some of you, like if you have, let's just say the School of Inquiry, that's the CEC part, right? The regular general education. But they got a PS 370 presence in there. And these are the children that I'm obligated to help serve and contact. Notwithstanding that the contact information I was given, I brought to his attention, that doesn't have Regina's email, Regina Shurkin for my son's school, or the correct
got it.
information. So that's just like the one, and we're gonna get that, that's okay. I met Mr. Terranova today. He's up on 72nd Street, although his regular school is a different site. He's a District 75 assistant principal. But that's just something like I'm bringing forth to you, you know, and just to explain like my perspective on what I look at, what should be my responsibility.
Face, can we have face?
You wanted to say something?
Tamara, go ahead.
I think what was originally is supposed to happen is like they share schools.
Pardon me?
the D75 schools share schools with the general,
Correct.
right? And I think what is supposed to happen is like whoever has that school, I think you and that person supposed to get together and like service both parts of that school together as a way to,
Well,
to collaborate.
Collaboration, I agree. However, as some of you may not know, as a District 75 parent, I'm not allowed to vote in your CEC election because I have no other children other than my son in school. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't want a partnership, but the representative of that school, say it's you, that's your and I'm not going to walk away. If something's to my attention, of course, to collaborate. But as far as ultimately who's responsible for the general education portion would be the duly elected people. Because also, how could I represent, and I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but anything, like you said, collaborate. Like if I'm in a school and like something else comes to my attention, that's not District 75. I'm like, well, that ain't my problem. Of course I'm going to get that information and pass it on because I have the list of who I got to talk to, whether it's talk to Alina, Fabiola, Tamara, or anybody here, John, like 100%. But as far as like, I come from a structure, a work environment, duties and responsibilities. Who does this? Who does that? Because we are in a parallel universe. That's why we only see Dr. Preto here. Where's our District 75 represented from the DOE?
You gotta ask them.
Because every child deserves to be educated within their community. And that's another issue, and hopefully that can perhaps be properly addressed because accountability, and I salute Dr. Preto because he explains and puts forth and makes himself available. Where is our District 75 presence at every meeting? Absent.
Then we need to invite him and make sure he attends.
And
I promise you, this is the last time I'm gonna interject. But I just want to provide a little clarity around it, right? Especially D75. I also I am a parent of two D75 students. And so how it works is just like the structuring of how it works. You have a certain number of schools, I think 43 schools within your district. You guys will select, some of you are familiar with this already, what schools you guys are gonna be working with. You select the schools. As a D75 representative, you can work with those schools within your district that are co-located with within another school, right? And then you can work with the principal. You can also work with the parent coordinator. But before you enter into the building and start speaking with the principal or the parent coordinator, you should have your AA write an email and set up an appointment. It is not a space where you just walk in the building with your ID. You need to have your AA set up appointments so that the principal, the parent coordinator are aware that you are coming to that building on this day and this time. And as you know, you can also set up an agenda of what you would like to talk about. We are not, as far as elected officials, we are not in relation with any pre-K that are not within a DOE building or early intervention centers that we are working with. If you, as a DOE representative for the council, would like to create a committee to support those families within your entire District 20 community, you can connect with families and bring them together to talk about if they're in a pre-K center and if they start and think about transitioning into the general ed population. Those are conversations that you can start having with them, like what school you're gonna go to, what is the principal, and talk about really rebranding your district or your school around how many parents will go to this school, how many parents will move from pre-K to go to this elementary school and so forth. But you should really be talking to your AA about scheduling appointments to go and visit school, but you should first have your ID.
well, that's the first thing I said, to have the correct contact information. Absolutely, it's an introduction. Those of you who may not be aware, my son's in PS 36K. His parent coordinator is on Linda Boulevard. His PS 36K, that's their main site. So like many of you in general education have a parent coordinator within your school. My son's, his physical location is elsewhere. That's very true. What's important, I believe, as a parent of a child from District 75, when it comes to turning 5, right? When you're in that pre-K, there's no transparency with our District 75 placement. As parents of general education students, you get to choose, I think it was 10 or 12 schools, like a dream sheet. And what do? You pick the ones that are close to you. As a District 75 parent, you wait for the green envelope to come. When the green envelope comes, you find out where your son's been assigned. Nobody explains that if you refuse that placement, they put that one on hold. So I did not immediately refuse, because I figured if I refuse Brighton Beach, he goes to Canarsie. And it took, actually someone at his pre-K center says, no, they put that site on hold. And as far as even where are these schools? Well, now I found one location where you can actually find them across the whole city. I found that after now my son's in the 3rd grade. That information is not readily available for our District 75 parents. It's not 75 when they're in pre-K, but you pretty much have an idea when they're 3, 4 years old. Are they going to be going to a District 75, or may they be mainstreamed, or perhaps be mainstreamed with some supports, where they'll be in the general education school, but they may get PT, they may get speech, or some other type of support so they can work in the general education school. So that's why I think it's important. And once again, with the proper contacts, letting them know, that the principal and whoever is there, if you have a parent with questions or concerns, and it was in the pre-K that a teacher, PT teacher, she put me on to a off-site swimming coach, and my son swims now. And that's, I get reimbursement thanks to OWPDD. This is information I'm looking to bring forth to other District 75 parents. There's funds out there that they're available, but a lot of them don't know. So it's wholeheartedly. But just like the lady said, and Tamara said, it's working in coordination, because we're a village, and it takes the teamwork to make it work. And it's just that some of the knowledge I have, perhaps some of you may have and some may not. But that was a big thing in the transition into the Turning 5 program. Our District 75 parents and children have no choice. And my personal belief is that needs to be changed. They should be able to look at a list, click on a button like a dream sheet. They may not get it, but it'll tell you 6 to 1, 8 to 1, 12 to 1. These are the census of where, and by the time they're 4 or 5 years old, as they're turning and getting ready for kindergarten, most parents are going to have some knowledge of that. But wholeheartedly working in teamwork with whoever's the primary at that school, because we're a school within a school. Very few stand alone.
I just want to be respectful of everyone's time. It's past 9. Can we move on?
Yes, it is.
With the list of schools?
That's fine.
Okay.
So the liaison list approval. Okay.
Oh, we
want details.
Okay.
We wanna-
Also,
yeah.
with the liaison, you can't be a liaison school to your children's school.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know. So
I
that-
think
that
many
is
of us
right.
know that.
No.
For the newer members.
Sorry, can you say again?
If your kid is in a
Do you want-
school,
you
you
want
can't
to-
be their liaison.
Oh,
They have to be a different school.
I see, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be more, I guess.
Yep.
They have the,
Understood.
so PS 971, we didn't have principal.
There's an insert
Okay,
active
can I-
physical.
Can we,
You want?
can we
Does
discuss?
this need an amendment or something now because of the list
Yeah,
of
as of
what
right now,
I'm
no.
speaking on, or
Okay, you want to
how,
make it
how will that work?
407,
One second.
close to the one you have, PS 748. Brooklyn School for Global Scholars. It's amazing.
Okay.
They're close.
你摄取一下是已经在哪里了？
I think it's the location at the 12th Avenue.
The new middle school.
Where it used to be Nathan's.
Nathan's.
Remember Nathan's, 86th Street, 7th Avenue, across the street from the golf course.
It's a PS, right? Oh, I
PS
Which
407.
school?
Middle school.
407.
The
MS
new one?
407.
On 86th Street where Nathan's was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, what number is that one? That's the
PS
middle
407,
school.
right?
Yeah.
407.
MS 407.
So you want suite. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, switch
I'll
it.
have PS IS-686
Say it
and
again.
PSIS-686. And Nalene will have MS-407.
Okay. And then I was suggesting, I think our face prep, I was gonna make suggestions to Steve with your D75 site. So I think what we could do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is we could have you be their liaison for just the D75 site. And we
Yeah,
can keep,
100%.
and we can keep the rep what we have now.
Of 100%.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's what.
It's not a D75 site, it's a co-located site within a
General education.
education building.
I don't hear her clearly. I'm hearing impaired. I don't hear what she's saying.
I'm sorry. He has a hearing issue. Yeah.
So, I wanna, so you guys are selecting the sites that you're gonna go into. As far as D75 is not a D75 site.
Mhm.
You are going to a general ed site to liaison. If it's in a co-located building, that can work too, but you're not for the D75.
But they got people assigned to these same schools. See what you're saying now, I'm not standalone. Every single school I'm assigned to, it has a CEC representative. It's all double dipping. The schools I'm on, there's someone else assigned to
Because
Seal
you're the
Academy.
D75 rep.
Huh?
You're the D75 rep, that's why.
Correct, but there's more than 5 D75 schools, and I've been elected to represent on this District 75.
Right, so.
At the end of the day, am I correct or am I incorrect? Have I been elected to represent our District 75 children and parents in CEC 20? So is that what I've been elected to do?
Yeah.
I guess I don't understand your point.
Like you said, but this one is going to have D20 community, right?
D75.
But the
Let me
sites
see what she's
you
saying
go
about
to, they can
D75.
be co-located.
Maybe you can co-locate and then maybe go
With
section
District
with D75.
75. District 75 has a citywide council, District 75 citywide council that you, as a representative, can communicate with them as well. And they can tell you, hey, we have this site and this site that you can go to.
I don't understand what you're trying to, do you understand the point I was
I
making?
understand
So
what you're
now,
saying.
okay, let me stand up, because I don't
understand.
hear too good, I gotta.
Okay, I don't
So as a
understand.
District 75 rep, who is allowed to vote? All District 75 parents that live in our CEC, correct? So if they go to,
I gotta go too.
Sorry, yeah, I don't.
So-
You can't vote. The meeting is not boring.
So no vote, right?
But you understand the point I'm making?
Guys, we need to do this real fast. Everybody needs to go home. So,
Any question after the meeting?
No, this is a public forum.
That's what I was
Like,
saying. Now that
you know,
she's thinking different.
This is what my understanding of
Based on last year's, we have to do this.
my responsibility.
No, they have to
So-
understand,
We have
right?
D75 program things. But now this doesn't make it sound.
So John,
But now I think people are leaving, so I think.
So now- this is 5 schools. These are the sites. So these are, these are the people, and I know they're co-located, but I've been elected by all the parents from this area. So now I'm being told I can't represent it because there's only one
no,
representative.
you're not being told that. You're being told that you could co-chair, like you could be a co-sponsor, whatever, a co-person, where you would, like, say Tamara has that school and so do you, right?
Yeah.
Tamara's going to take care of the general education. You would step in if Tamara has an issue. They say, "Oh, Tamara, there's something going on with D75." She would call you.
Hold on a second. So you're telling me it would be improper for me to reach out to that school and make myself available?
No.
Even though, well,
You're the D75 rep, right? You have 5 liaison schools, right? We all have 5 or 4 liaison schools.
right, but what's your census? What's the amount of pupils you represented? That's a big caseload.
It doesn't matter. Some schools have 1,500 kids.
Okay,
Some
so,
schools don't.
and that's the point I'm making. So,
On the paper, you can only have 5 liaison schools. You
where
can.
does it, so I guess I need
You
to
can
know,
handle whole
where does it,
district.
no, hear me out. Where does it say that? Because in essence, what I'm looking at is the disenfranchisement of people that elect someone to a position. Because like I said, if I'm in a co-shared school, I understand working in partnership. But in essence, you're not gonna network with this one or this one. The city, District 75, is a whole different scenario. Like, I'm looking at it from the local aspect. This is District 20, and that's why I ran for District 20, because it's to represent. The main point is that our children that live here deserve to be educated within their community. And as far as reaching out to the parents in that school. So I guess I just can't get my head wrapped around, well, only if she has a problem, but then,
No.
but what's?
But that's not what he said.
No, I did not.
That's not what he said.
As a D75 rep, these are D75 schools in general education. You can call them up on the phone. You can make an appointment. You can sit down with the D75 principal, the D75 parent coordinator, because you're the D75 rep. I'm not telling you that you can't go to the school.
Pardon me?
I'm not telling you that you can't go to the school and deal with general
Well,
education.
before I went there, I definitely reached out first and talked to him.
But you're fine. You have 5 liaison schools. If you have 10 to 12 District 75 schools, you're the D75 rep. You're in charge of those schools. You call them up. You do whatever you have to do for the D75 children. We're not telling you anything not to go to the school because it's Tamara's school or my school. It's your right to go there. You were elected as a D75 rep.
Okay, so I thought that, so I understand what you're saying. I guess I'm misunderstanding what the ladies are explaining to me.
No, but that's what she explained. The whole point of it, what she's saying is, these sites are co-located.
I get that. I know that. The majority of the schools are. That's just the way the nature of the beast.
I know, but the thing is, like, they have different reps. That's the whole point of having different reps. See, like John said, if I knew somebody in D75 that had an issue, I would notify you that they had an issue, so you could do what you need to do.
Which I understand that. In the same conversely, if I went in there and something got to my attention of that's really a CAC, I'm gonna take the information and make sure that I reach out to you, they get to whoever it may be. And the schools, these 5 that I am, there is a primary CEC rep on it. See that?
That's okay.
You follow what I'm saying? Like these 5 schools.
We understand that, but they're co-located. They're multiple schools co-located.
So I guess my question is, the other ones that have a District 75 presence.
They will be dealing with the other principal. You deal with the principal.
You need me to sign anything?
Pardon me?
They will deal with the
You're good?
principal for the general ed, and you will be dealing with the
Right, but that's these schools.
It doesn't matter who, it's.
So for me to reach out to the school, to PS 370 up on
Kevin's gonna reach out for all of us in order to.
You cannot reach
You
on
can do
your
it on your own.
You can't do the outreach.
You have to start with Kevin first.
Needs to make the initial
attempt of communication.
Then follow up with you. And let's say I represent general education, and one of the schools, and you the rep of 75. The both of us can be included in the initial conversation, present us.
Here's your CEC 20 rep, here's your District 75.
Tamara, do you have yours?
Yes, and both of us can work together with that principal.
To sign? Yeah, for
Well,
July.
as far as working together,
Do you have a copy?
see, who would I be
You
in
have?
contact? The District 75 principal.
Thank you.
And the District 75 parent coordinator, right? Because honestly.
We got to move forward.
Yeah, and I think we have it.
Everybody has to get
You guys want,
their
we can
children.
Postpone this. We can discuss.
Yeah,
it
we're
now.
gonna postpone it
We'll
then.
do a special meeting to discuss the liaison.
Did you fill it out?
Get the phone first.
My thing is that it's summer, a lot of
Yeah,
people is
we
gonna
don't
be
need to-
out, and for us to have an extra day. Just moving forward, we wanna make sure if we have a question.
Yeah, let's vote on it now.
Yeah.
All right. So the liaison list approval, Kevin, can you please do it for the recording secretary?
You guys, we're gonna do the voting now. Can we take care of that after, please?
It's gonna be voted on, or it's gonna be tabled?
Voted on.
So you give me the principal, the mail, or the email?
I will email you. So we're voting on approving the liaison lists with the one change for Fabiola to have PS 686.
PSIS.
IS 8686,
Yes.
and then Alin will have MS 407. That's the only change we have right now. Kevin Zhao It's not here, I believe. Kevin Down?
No.
No. Tamara Stern?
Approved.
Mei Feng Chen?
Yes.
Ken Lee?
Yeah.
Nao Lin?
Yes.
Lizard Chen?
Yes.
Alina Lewis?
Yes.
John Ucatone?
Yes.
Wen Ming Chen?
She
left,
She's
so-
here.
Fabiola Mendita Tapia?
Approved.
And then Stephen Mahoney?
Abstain.
We have 8 yeses, 1 abstain, 2 absent. So the liaison list is approved.
All right, so the next on the agenda is meeting dates approval.
It's very simple.
Can everybody look at the meeting dates and see if it's good for you? There's no
Yes.
holidays, there's nothing that has to be changed. So this is it. Everybody see it?
It's not bylaws, so.
There's no holidays, there's nothing to
Let me
change.
see that meeting list.
Yeah, so I have a
You know,
question.
like February
I have
11th.
this question. If I, October 8, I can
That's
attend.
fine. You just let us know. You either let me or Kevin know, and it's fine. And you don't have to go. You don't have to do it.
Because I'm maybe in China.
That's fine. You just have to let us know, and then we're just gonna excuse you.
Okay.
Okay? So if anybody needs off, you're gonna be excused. Everybody's good? Are we good to vote? Everybody, are we good to vote?
Yes, yes,
Steven,
yes.
you good to vote on these days? There's no holidays, there's nothing.
Dates, I guess they're okay.
Okay.
Because it's the second Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the way it's
So-
supposed to be, isn't it?
yeah.
If
Kevin,
you
we're
can't
good
make
enough?
it, we let you know.
Yeah, taking roll call vote to approve meeting dates. Tamara Stern? Kevin Zhao is absent. Mei Feng Chen?
Oh, yes.
Ken Lee?
Yeah.
Nao Lin?
Yes.
Lizard Chen?
Yes.
Alina Lewis?
Oh, she jumped off.
John Ucatone?
Yes.
Wen Ming Chen left, right? And Fabiola Mendita Tapia?
Yes.
And then Stephen Mahoney?
Yes.
8 yeses with 3 absent. The meeting dates are approved.
Okay.
Minutes are approved. So I just want to let everybody know that CEC committees, if anybody wants to join a CEC committee, please let me know. Anybody wants to join a CEC committee or make their own, let me know. And then that's what we're going to do. We need to have people on board. CEC committees. So like District 75 Special Education, you would be the chair of the committee, somebody else would be the co-chair, and you guys work together in regards to like special education or whatever it is, or whatever you want to do with a committee. So I'm just letting that you guys know on the business meeting, that's what's going to happen, because that's what we need. All right, this concludes our July CEC 20 business meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye.
Bye.
The meeting is adjourned. Our next business meeting would be August 13th
At the district office.
at the district office. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you interpreters. You are dismissed. Thank you everybody. Have a great night. Get home safe. Thank you Stephen. Thank you everybody. Fabiola, Tamara.